My name is Jake Donovan. I'm 29, and for the last 3 years I've been the night janitor at Sterling Tower, a glass and steel monster that scrapes the Manhattan sky. Most people don't notice the guy pushing the mop bucket past the marble lobby at 2 in the morning, and that's exactly how I like it. My shift starts at 10, ends at 6, and in between, I keep the lower levels from smelling like a subway restroom. Simple, predictable, safe. Tonight is no different, or so I think when I clock in. The security desk waves me through same board nod as always. I ride the service elevator down to P3, the lowest parking sublevel, where the air is thick with exhaust and the only light comes from flickering fluorescence. My job tonight is to check the ventilation ducts. Somebody upstairs complained about a chemical smell. I grab my flashlight, my radio, and the battered cart that rattles like it's held together with duct tape and prayers. The garage is nearly empty. A handful of late-model sedans sit under plastic covers, the kind of cars that cost more than I'll make in a decade. I move between them, boots echoing on the concrete. The vents are tucked behind a row of concrete pillars near the freight ramp. I'm on my knees, unscrewing a grate when I see it, a thin red dot dancing across the far wall, steady, deliberate. Not a reflection, not a laser level. A targeting laser. I freeze. Old training kicks in before my brain catches up. I drop the screwdriver roll left and flatten myself against the pillar. The dot sweeps past where my head was a second ago. My heart slams against my ribs. I count 1, 2, and then the first shot cracks through the silence, a sharp metallic cough that ricochets off the walls. The fluorescent tube above me explodes in a shower of glass. I don't think. I just move. Across the aisle, a woman screams, a short, cut-off sound. I spot her tall, dark coat heels that weren't made for running. She's halfway out of a black town car, one hand on the door, the other clutching a leather briefcase. Her bodyguard, big guy suit stretched tight across the shoulders, shoves her down behind the rear wheel. Another shot. The bodyguard jerks, blood blooming across his white shirt. He collapses knees first, then face down on the oil-stained floor. The woman, Eliza Voss, I recognize her from the building directory photos, scrambles on all fours toward the pillar I'm behind. Her eyes are wide, mascara already smearing. She doesn't see me until she's almost on top of me. I grab her wrist, yank her into the narrow gap between the pillar and a concrete support beam. She smells like expensive perfume and terror. "Stay down," I hiss. My voice sounds foreign rough, like it hasn't been used in years. She nods, trembling. Another burst of gunfire stitches across the hood of the town car. Sparks fly. The bodyguard's hand twitches once, then stills. Something small and black skitters from his jacket pocket and slides across the floor, stopping inches from my boot. A USB drive, matte black, no markings. I snatch it without thinking. Eliza's breath is hot against my neck. "Marcus," she whispers, staring at the bodyguard. "He's dead. I finish. No time for gentle." I scan the garage. 3 shooters, maybe 4. Muzzle flashes from the ramp, the stairwell, the far corner. Professional silencers. They're boxing us in. The emergency exit is 30 feet away past 2 rows of cars. No cover. The freight elevator is closer, but the panel's shot to hell. I spot the service corridor behind us. Narrow, dark leads to the maintenance tunnels. I used it last week to haul trash bags. It's our only shot. I pull Eliza to her feet. She's shaking so hard her teeth chatter. "Can you run?" She swallows, nods once. I grip her hand. On 3. Don't look back. 1, 2. We bolt. Bullets chew the concrete where we were. I shove her ahead of me, using my body as a shield. The corridor door is rusted sticks. I slam my shoulder into it. It gives. We tumble inside, slam it shut, and I throw the deadbolt. The metal vibrates with impacts from the other side. Darkness swallows us. I flick on my flashlight. The beam catches dust motes, exposed pipes, a maze of conduits. Eliza leans against the wall, chest heaving. Her coat is torn at the sleeve. Blood Marcus's streaked across the lapel. "Who are you?" she whispers. "Janitor," I say. "Jake." She stares at me like that's the craziest thing she's heard all night. Maybe it is. I pocket the USB. My radio crackles security upstairs, finally noticing the gunfire. Too late. I switch it off. We're on our own. Eliza's eyes drop to the drive in my hand. That was in Marcus's pocket. I noticed. She opens her mouth, closes it. For the first time, the Ice Queen of Sterling Tower looks small. Human. I take her elbow. "We need to move. They'll breach that door in under a minute." She nods again, steadier now. I lead her deeper into the tunnel's boots, splashing through puddles of condensation. Behind us, the sound of metal tearing echoes like a death knell. I don't know what's on that drive. I don't know why someone wants Eliza Voss dead, but I know one thing for sure: my quiet life just ended. And whatever comes next, I'm in it up to my neck. The tunnel spits us out near an old freight dock on the Hudson's edge, the air thick with river rot and diesel. Eliza's heels click unevenly on the cracked concrete. I keep one hand on her elbow, the other clutching the USB like it's a live grenade. Sirens wail somewhere above, but down here the city feels 1,000 miles away. I flag a gypsy cab idling under the West Side Highway, shove Eliza in the back, and tell the driver an address in Queens he's never heard of. He shrugs and pulls away. Eliza stares out the window, knuckles white on her briefcase. The blood on her coat is dried to a rust-brown map. I catch her reflection in the glass eyes, hollow lips pressed thin. She looks like a woman who just watched her world fracture in real time. "You don't have to do this," she says quietly. "Whatever this is, you can still walk away." I almost laugh. Walk away to what? My mop bucket, my $6 microwave dinners, Maisie's daycare pickup at 6:30 sharp. I glance at the USB in my palm. Too late for that. She doesn't argue. The cab drops us 3 blocks from my apartment in Astoria. I pay in cash, no questions. We walk the rest of the way in silence, cutting through alleyways I've memorized from years of avoiding eye contact. My building is a pre-war walk-up, paint-peeling buzzer, half broken. I key us in, let her up 4 flights of stairs that smell like curry and old carpet. Inside the place is exactly what you'd expect from a single dad on a janitor's salary. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, a living room that doubles as Maisie's play area. Her crayon drawings are taped to the fridge in a riot of purple dinosaurs and stick figure families. A half-eaten bowl of spaghetti sits on the counter. From dinner, my sitter, Mrs. Alvarez, always leaves it out in case I'm hungry when I get home. Eliza stands in the doorway, taking it in. Her gaze lingers on the tiny pair of rain boots by the door, the plastic tiara dangling from a coat hook. Something softens in her face just for a second. "Bathroom's down the hall," I say. "Towels are clean. I'll find you something to wear." She nods, still clutching the briefcase like it's the only thing anchoring her to reality. I dig through my dresser, pull out an old army sweatshirt and a pair of drawstring sweats that might fit. When I come back, she's sitting on the edge of the couch, staring at the USB on the coffee table between us. "You have a daughter," she says. It's not a question. Maisie, 7 going on 17. I set the clothes beside her. She's with the neighbor tonight. Sleepover. Eliza picks up the drive, turns it over in her fingers. Marcus was more than my bodyguard. He was my friend, the only one I trusted. Her voice cracks on the last word. And now he's dead because of me. I sit across from her, elbows on my knees. "You didn't pull the trigger, didn't I?" She looks up, eyes glassy. Everything I touch turns to ash. Jake. My mother, my marriage, my company, now Marcus. I don't know what to say to that. I've never been good with words. So I do what I know. I get up, fill a glass with tap water, hand it to her. She drinks like she's forgotten how. "Let me tell you about Ash," I say, sitting again. 3 years ago, I was stationed in Kandahar, cyber ops. My job was keeping drones in the air, making sure the feeds didn't blink. My wife, Sarah, she was stateside 8 months pregnant. One night, some hacker halfway across the world rerouted a traffic cam network, turned a green light red. Sarah's car got T-boned at 60 miles an hour. Eliza's hand freezes halfway to her mouth. They told me it was a freak accident. I knew better. I'd seen the code. Someone wanted to send a message, and Sarah was collateral. Maisie was born premature, spent 6 weeks in the NICU. I came home, buried my wife, and quit the only life I knew. Took the first job that didn't ask questions, janitor, night shift. No clearance, no access, no targets on my back. I lean forward, rest my forearms on my thighs. So yeah, I know Ash. I sweep it up every night. Eliza sets the glass down, slow. "I'm sorry. Don't be. Just means we're both good at surviving." I nod at the USB. But surviving's not enough anymore. Not if someone's willing to put bullets in a parking garage to keep whatever's on that quiet. She stares at the drive like it's a snake. My father built Sterling from nothing. Pharmaceuticals, real estate, private equity. He taught me numbers before I could read. Said emotions were liabilities. When I was 10, my mother died in a boating accident. The official report said mechanical failure. I was on the dock. I saw the explosion. No one ever explained it. Her voice is flat clinical, but her hands tremble. Conrad, my father, told me to forget. Said the company was all that mattered. I did. I became exactly what he wanted. The Ice Queen. Untouchable. Unbreakable. She laughs bitter. Turns out I was just breakable in a different way. I think of Maisie's latest drawing, a purple sun, with a smiley face labeled Daddy plus Maisie Forever in shaky crayon. I think of the empty chair at our tiny kitchen table. I think of the way Eliza's looking at that chair now, like she's seeing a ghost of something she never had. Your father know about the garage, I ask. He knows everything. She meets my eyes. Or thinks he does. I pick up the USB roll-it between my fingers. Then we're going to show him something he doesn't. Outside, a siren Doppler's past fades. Inside, the refrigerator hums. Eliza pulls the sweatshirt over her head, the Army logo stretching across her shoulders. She looks smaller. Human. I don't know how to be anything else, she says quietly. You already are, I tell her. You just forgot. She doesn't answer, but for the first time since the garage, she doesn't look away. The cabin sits 40 miles north of the city, buried in pine and regret. I bought it dirt cheap after the Army cut me loose, old recon outpost, decommissioned, forgotten. No heat, no plumbing, just a roof and 4 walls that still smell like gun oil and pine sol. I pull the truck off the fire road at dawn, tires crunching gravel. Eliza's asleep against the passenger window, hair tangled my sweatshirt, swallowing her frame. She looks like a kid who missed curfew, not the woman whose face is on the cover of Forbes. I kill the engine. The silence is thick, broken only by a lone crow. I nudge her shoulder. End of the line. She blinks awake, disoriented, then remembers. Her hand goes to the USB in her coat pocket like it might have vanished. This is yours was. Now it's ours. I grab the duffel from the back blankets. MRE's a satellite laptop I keep for emergencies. No cell service, no cameras, no neighbors. We're ghosts. Inside, dust motes dance in the slanted light. Eliza steps over a rusted ammo crate, eyes cataloging cracked window panes, a wood stove thick with creosote, a single cot sagging under a moth-eaten blanket. She doesn't complain, just sets her briefcase on the table like it belongs there. I boot the laptop plug in the USB. The screen flickers, then blooms with folders: Voss Pharma, Sterling, EQ, Crowley, D. Eliza leans over my shoulder breath, warm on my neck. Damien, she whispers, my father's golden boy. I open the first file. Bank transfers, offshore accounts, shell companies nested like Russian dolls. Millions funneled through fake clinical trials. Next folder, surveillance photos, politicians, judges, a federal prosecutor. Last folder, video, grainy security cam footage dated 28 years ago. A yacht on Long Island Sound. A woman in a red dress, Eliza's mother, arguing with a younger Conrad Voss. Then a flash. The boat erupts. The timestamp freezes on Eliza's 10th birthday. Eliza's hand flies to her mouth. That's not an accident. No, I say, that's a hit. She sinks onto the cot, face pale. I keep scrolling. More videos, Damien Crowley, 30 years younger, handing an envelope to a dock worker. Audio files, Damien's voice, calm, ordering cleanups. A ledger with Marcus's name crossed out in red. Eliza's voice is barely air. He killed my mother, and Marcus found out. I close the laptop. We're not safe until this is public. Every copy, every server, every backup, we burn it all. She nods, but her eyes are on the cot's threadbare blanket. You have a daughter, Maisie. She thinks I'm on a business trip. I pull out my burner dial, Mrs. Alvarez. Static, then her sleepy voice. I keep it short. Extend the sleepover. I'll call tomorrow. I hang up before questions start. Eliza stands, walks to the window. I don't know how to do this. Hide, run, be normal. You don't have to be normal. Just be here. I open the duffel, pull out a photo, Maisie at 6 gap-toothed, holding a dandelion. She drew this for me last week. Said it's a magic flower that makes bad guys disappear. Eliza takes the photo, thumb brushing the crayon petals. She's beautiful. She's a pain in the ass, I say, but my chest tightens. She deserves better than a dad who sweeps floors. Eliza hands the photo back. She has a dad who saved my life. That's not nothing. Night falls hard. I build a fire in the stove, the crackle filling the silence. Eliza sits cross-legged on the floor, laptop balanced on her knees, decrypting files with a focus I've only seen in snipers. I clean my old service pistol oil to slide check the mag. Routine. Muscle memory. At midnight, my burner buzzes encrypted text from Mrs. Alvarez. Maisie wants to FaceTime, says she drew you a new picture. I hesitate, then dial. The screen lights up with my daughter's face hair and lopsided pigtails holding a crayon masterpiece, 3 stick figures under a yellow sun. One has a mop, one a briefcase, one a tiara. Daddy, this is our new house. The lady has a crown because she's nice. Eliza freezes, then leans into frame. Hi, Maisie. I'm Eliza. Maisie's eyes go wide. You're pretty. Daddy said you're his friend from work. Eliza's smile is small reel. He's teaching me how to be brave. Maisie nods solemnly. Daddy's the bravest. He killed a spider once with a shoe. I laugh despite everything. We talk for 10 minutes, school dinosaurs, why the sky's blue. When I hang up, Eliza's staring at the fire. She calls you Daddy, she says softly. Yeah. I load the pistol, snap the mag home, and I call her my whole world. The next day's blur. I teach Eliza to move quiet heels off weight on the balls of her feet. She teaches me corporate espionage, how to trace shell companies, how to read a balance sheet like a battle map. We take shifts, sleeping one always on watch. She learns to clean the pistol without flinching. I learn to make coffee strong enough to wake the dead. One afternoon, snow starts. Maisie's latest drawing arrives via text, 3 figures holding hands, a dog added for good measure. Eliza pins it above the stove with a rusty nail. She thinks I'm staying, she says. You could, I answer before thinking. She looks at me, something unreadable in her eyes. I don't know how to be a mother. You already are, I say. You just haven't met her yet. That night the fire burns low. Eliza sits beside me on the cot, shoulder to shoulder. When I was 10, she says, after the funeral, my father gave me a calculator. Said tears were a waste of time. I haven't cried since. I don't push. Just hand her a mug of instant cocoa. She takes it with both hands like it's the first warm thing she's held in years. Outside, the snow keeps falling, erasing our tracks. Inside, the cabin starts to feel less like a hideout and more like a beginning. The snow stops at dawn, leaving the forest muffled in white. I'm on the porch, breath fogging, scanning the tree line with binoculars when Eliza steps out bundled in my old parka. She hands me a mug of coffee, black, no sugar. We've fallen into rhythm. She decrypts, I patrol. She cooks, I clean the gun. She asks about Maisie, I ask about her mother. The cabin feels less like a bunker and more like a heartbeat. She's found something. Her voice is steady, but her hands shake as she opens the laptop. Hidden partition. Damien's private ledger. Payments to a shell corp registered to my father. And this. She clicks a file. A scanned death certificate her mother's altered. Cause of death changed from explosion to drowning. Signature Conrad Voss. I feel the air leave my lungs. He covered it up. He ordered it. Her eyes are steel. Damien was the executor. My father was the architect. She types a message on the burner encrypted to her father. I'm alive. Have proof. Meet me. Alone. She hits send before I can stop her. What the hell are you doing? Ending this. Her voice doesn't waver. He'll come. He always does when he thinks he can control the board. I want to argue, but the set of her jaw stops me. She's not the ice queen anymore. She's a daughter demanding answers. The reply comes in minutes, midnight. Old warehouse Red Hook. Come alone. I know the place abandoned, sugar refinery condemned, perfect for a trap. I spend the day prepping wire the cabin's perimeter with trip flares, pack go bags, teach Eliza how to clear a jam on the Glock. She absorbs it like a sponge, finger steady now. At dusk, the burner buzzes again. Unknown number, they're coming. 6 men. Thermal. Get out. Mrs. Alvarez, she must have overheard something at daycare drop-off. I grab Eliza. We leave now. We're halfway to the truck when the first drone buzzes overhead, red eye blinking. Then headlights, 3 SUVs tearing up the fire road. I shove Eliza behind the woodpile, yank the pin on a flare. It arcs, hissing, painting the snow blood red. The first shooter breaches the tree line, suppressed rifle raised. I drop him with 2 to center mass. The crack echoes like thunder. Eliza's already moving Glock up, firing controlled bursts. She's no soldier, but she's a fast learner. We sprint for the truck. Bullets chew the snow. I slam the door key, the ignition. The engine roars. Eliza's in the passenger seat, reloading with shaking hands. I floor it, tires spinning, then catching. An SUV blocks the road. I don't slow ram it head on. Metal screams. Airbags deploy. We're through. The chase is a blur back roads, icy switchbacks, gunfire pinging the tailgate. I take a bullet through the rear window. It grazes my shoulder, hot and wet. Eliza ties a strip of her shirt around it without a word. We ditch the truck in a ravine hike 2 miles through frozen marsh to a ranger cabin I know, inside a dirt bike half-tank of gas hidden under tarp. We ride south, her arms locked around my waist, the wind ripping tears from our eyes. By midnight, we're in Red Hook, the warehouse looming like a rusted cathedral. I kill the bike a block away, scout the perimeter. Thermal scopes on the roof, 2 snipers. Ground level, 4 more Damien's private contractors. Conrad's nowhere. Eliza's burner buzzes change of plans. Pier 47. Now, another trap. But we're out of options. Pier 47 is a graveyard of shipping containers, the Hudson black and oily beyond. We move shadow to shadow. I spot Damien on the dock, flanked by 2 men, Conrad's silhouette in the back of a black Suburban. Eliza's breath catches. I have to face him, she whispers. Not alone. We split. She approaches from the pier. I circle behind the containers. Damien's voice carries smug. Eliza. You always were dramatic. She steps into the floodlights, hands raised. Where's father indisposed? Damien smiles. You've caused enough trouble. I'm 20 yards out, crouched behind a stack of pallets when I see the red dot on Eliza's chest. Sniper. I don't think just move. I tackle her as the shot cracks. We hit the dock hard, roll behind a winch. Damien's men open fire. The next minutes are chaos. I return fire, drop 1. Eliza grabs a fallen rifle, lays down suppression. Damien retreats toward the Suburban. Conrad steps out, face unreadable. Enough, he shouts. Eliza, come home. We'll fix this. She stands, rifle steady. You killed her. You killed Mom. Conrad's eyes flicker. It was business. I'm lining up a shot on Damien when Eliza does something I don't expect. She swings the rifle like a bat, cracks the nearest contractor across the temple. He drops. She grabs his sidearm, dual-wielding now, eyes wild. Jake, she yells. The containers, I understand. We planned this contingency. I sprint to the control box, slam the override. The massive cargo doors on the nearest container grind open. Inside my live stream rig cameras, satellite uplink battery array. I hit the switch. The dock floods with light. Every phone in a 50-mile radius pings. The feed goes live. Millions watching. Damien's face twists in panic. Eliza's voice rings out, clear, furious. This is Eliza Voss. What you're seeing is real. Damien Crowley murdered my mother. He's been laundering billions through Sterling. Here's the proof. She holds up the USB, then tosses it to me. I plug it into the rig. Files stream across screens worldwide. Damien lunges. I meet him halfway, pistol to his temple. Move and you're on camera. I growl. Sirens wail. NYPD FBI news choppers. Damien's men drop weapons. Conrad stands frozen as agents swarm. Eliza doesn't look at him. She looks at me. We're surrounded, but for the first time, we're not running. The feed cuts to black after 97 minutes. The last image is Damien Crowley in cuffs, mouth twisted in a snarl while federal agents swarm the pier. My shoulder burns where the bullet grazed it, but the pain feels distant, like it belongs to someone else. Eliza stands beside me, rifle lowered, chest heaving. The Hudson wind whips her hair across her face. She doesn't brush it away. Conrad is led past us in zip ties. He doesn't look at her. Eliza doesn't look at him. The silence between them is louder than any scream. Reporters shout questions. Cameras flash. I shield Eliza with my body, pushed through the chaos to an ambulance. Paramedics try to separate us. I refuse. She keeps her hand in mine while they stitch me up. Her fingers are ice cold. By sunrise, Sterling Corp is a carcass. Stocks plummet. Board members resign. The USB's contents, every wire transfer, every encrypted email, every video are mirrored on 100 servers. There's no burying it. Eliza loses everything. The penthouse, the private jet, the corner office with the city at her feet. The DA seizes her accounts pending investigation. She signs the papers without protest. Pen steady. I take her to the only place I know is safe, Mrs. Alvarez's apartment. Maisie is asleep on the couch, clutching her stuffed triceratops. When she wakes and sees Eliza, she doesn't ask about the blood on her sleeve. She just runs arms wide. You came back. Maisie whispers into Eliza's stomach. Eliza's knees buckle. She sinks to the carpet, hugs my daughter like she's the only solid thing left in the world. I stand in the doorway, throat tight, and realize I'm crying without noticing. 6 months later, the headlines have moved on. Damien's trial is set for fall. Conrad took a plea, 20 years, no parole. The money is gone, funneled into victim restitution and legal fees. Eliza Voss is a ghost in boardrooms now. We live in a small town 2 hours north of the city, a place where nobody recognizes her face. I maintain the elementary school boiler's steady hours summers off. The house is a fixer-upper with a leaky roof and a yard big enough for a dog. We got one a mutt named Rusty, who thinks Maisie's socks are chew toys. Eliza works part-time at the library shelving books, teaching coding to kids after school. She wears jeans and flannel hair in a loose braid. The first time a patron called her ma'am, she laughed so hard she cried. Spring arrives soft and green. Maisie is 8 today. We're at the park, a kite strung between the three of us, purple dinosaur Maisie's design. The wind lifts it high. Eliza's hand finds mine. Her palm is calloused from garden soil, warm from the sun. Maisie tugs the string. Higher, Daddy, I let out more line. The kite soars, a bright speck against the blue. Eliza leans her head on my good shoulder. I used to think power was measured in zeros, she says quietly. Turns out it's measured in this. I squeeze her hand. No titles, no empires, just wind laughter and the three of us choosing each other every single day. The kite dips, then rights itself. Maisie cheers, Rusty barks. Eliza smiles, real unguarded, the kind that reaches her eyes. We're not a fairy tale. We're something better. We're home.